London's Heathrow is the busiest airport in Europe, but from today has another status when it comes to tackling climate change. Now carbon neutral, it hopes the airport infrastructure won't be producing any carbon emissions at all by the mid-2030s. Matt Gorman, Heathrow's Director of Sustainability, says the airport is the first in the world to make such a pledge.
The enemy at the end of the day is not aviation, it's carbon. Our collective challenge, this isn't just aviation, it's to get carbon out of the economy as quickly as possible, and we have to play our role in getting there.
Sure, but still, doesn't it feel awkward that you're making these kind of laudable emission statements, but actually you're servicing such a sort of carbon-intensive industry?
Not at all. I think, personally, I believe that aviation brings huge benefits economically, socially and culturally.
Heathrow's commitments cover emissions generated by its own operations, including airport buildings, infrastructure, business travel and its vehicles. But they don't include emissions from its suppliers, airport businesses like shops and restaurants, the possible construction of a third runway or, crucially, the flights. In spite of climate concerns, record numbers are expected to take to the skies globally in 2020. As airports have grown, the objective has been to travel as quickly and as cheaply as possible. But companies are under pressure to consider the cost to the environment.
Our initiative is more broad-based than just net zero.
We set ourselves a goal to become net zero carbon by 2030.
Our aim to be net zero.
There's been a flurry of announcements by big businesses promising to reduce or eliminate their carbon footprint. The government says Britain will be carbon neutral by 2050, but hasn't created any kind of regulatory body to check the voluntary pledges being made.
There's really no rigour as to whether whether these meet the test. Are they going to allow the country to actually meet its net zero target by 2050? Polling last year showed that 30% of companies don't even have a plan.
In spite of promises to reduce airport emissions, aviation emissions are expected to rise dramatically. Sustainable air travel from start to finish is still a long way off. Lisa Holland, Sky News.